Hey guys, welcome back to some DN Quickies. I know you guys have been wanting these for a while, but the LP was going, so now we got them again. So, anyways, I guess I'll just quick get into it, but I am running Stun with a Chaos mix, so keep that in mind. But firsthand, I didn't really honestly, these matches aren't the best ever. I've just been having bad luck getting matches the past couple days, which is why I've been trying to get matches, but you know, I got a couple face downs, so that's good. And then Reaper, so I can at least stall for a little bit. But he shows that he's running a frog deck, and he brings out Swap Frog first turn by discarding Rotonin. Not too worried about it, so I'm not going to use any of my face downs because I'd rather save them for something more threatening. But he just returns it, so then he gets to set something else just so he can be weird. I don't know. But pull into a bottomless and decide, okay, let's just set that. I got Compulse and Warning face down. I shouldn't need anything else, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Because MST... I'm pretty sure frogs don't play anything back row usually that's threatening, so I can just save it if I really need it, but I shouldn't need it, so now he decides to sacrifice his Dupe Frog, and I'm like, no, go away, Caius, I do not want my Spirit Reaper removed. But he also gets a Treeborn out on the field, so that's gonna kind of suck, but his graveyard isn't that stacked yet, so it's okay. But then Dupe Frog kicks in so you can get a Rotonin, but then he just discards it for the Swap Frog, and then he mills out, actually, what I thought was a weird play was milling out another Treeborn, which is, first of all, you're playing more than one Treeborn in frogs. You're generally not supposed to do that. I mean, it's a risky thing to do, but I don't know. But he actually just bounces back the Swap Frog so he can use it later, so that's fine by me. But I pull into Effect Veiler, not really liking that, just because, you know, I'd rather, because it's not that useful, really, against frogs. I mean, it can be, but it can't be at the same time. But there, I could have just, well, these past couple turns, I could have just synced up for Armory Arm, and then I could have summoned out Chaos Sorcerer, but I was just waiting, biding my time to see what was going on. But actually, I completely forgot about Armory Arm, and I was just thinking, okay, we'll just wait for these guys to die, and then I can bring out Chaos Sorcerer, and then I was like, wait a second, I could have just made Armory Arm this entire time. But he goes for Duality, grabs a Dark Hole, so he can use that eventually. Thought he would use it this turn, so I was like, okay, I can just make Chaos Sorcerer next turn. But he's all like, I'm gonna summon Swap Frog from his effect, but then I'm like, no, you can't do that, you play Duality, what are you doing? And he's just like, oh, sorry, whatever. You know, people forget, it's cool. But get the Tour Guides. I'm like, okay, well, we'll just do that, because then what I can do is I can grab Songin, and since he has that Dark Hole in his hand, I don't really want to make an Exceed just yet, so I'll keep these guys on the field. I was thinking about going to the battle phase, then I was like, wait a second, I could still make Armory Arm, why didn't I even think of that? But I said, alright, we'll use Tour Guide and Effect Veiler, and then we'll make Armory Arm, and then we can use Spirit Reaper to try and kill something in his hand. So then I'll just bring out the Chaos Sorcerer. We'll use, I think I just use Songin to kill off the Spirit, or the fucking thingy. But then I go for Spirit Reaper's attack, and I choose that card, hoping it's Dark Hole. But turns out I just discard Ryza. Still decent to discard that, but would have preferred if I could have gotten the Dark Hole or something. But then I just attack with both Armory Arm and Chaos Sorcerer, just fine by me. And he lets the Chaos Sorcerer attack go through just so that I don't get the remove from it. So then he sends out Tragodia. Couldn't remember if I could chain or not, but I wasn't really too bothered because I do have plenty of things to take on Tragodia if I have to. But he brings out the Treeborn, and then I think he just goes for Dark Hole right off the bat, which is like, okay, I guess he really was that scared of my back row with Tragodia maybe doing something to it, I don't know. But now I can just bring out Songin and just grab the Tour Guide. Well, not bring out Songin, but go for Songin's effect to get to Tour Guide. And then he just gets more frog stuff going, which he doesn't really do anything with. Because, yeah, there's 2 Ronin Totems in his grave, so he could have done something there. But he's going to mill out, I don't remember what he mills out, actually. I don't think it's anything good. But did he even mill anything out? Or was it just another frog thingy? But I was looking at my grave to see if I had a light monster for BLS. And I didn't even know Armory Arm was light, so I was like, oh my god, I can win this turn. But really what he should have been doing is because he had enough stuff in his grave for Rotonin, so I don't know why he didn't bring those out and at least make Gachi Gachi or something, but whatever. But he was just randomly targeting my shit for I don't know what reason, but I just bring out Tour Guide and then, you know, do the Tour Guiding stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, since I have Armory Arm in my grave, I'm just going to banish it and say fuck it, because I'd rather have BLS out, because then I can win the match. So then I was like, wait a second, I can make Leviair, and then I can bring back Armory Arm. which I didn't really need Armory Arm in the first place, but I still equipped it because, I mean, I would have won even without Armory Arm, so whatever, I'm just like effect, and then I can just attack for game, so that's kind of the first game there, so yay, I won that, I don't know, but now we're on to the next one, which is an actually fairly quick one, so I don't know, but he wins rock, paper, scissors, so I go second. But I think this guy is playing TG Agents or something. Yeah, or is it the No, it's this guy that's playing TG. Is it? Yeah, he is. But at first I was turned off by the reinforcements. I was thinking, okay, he's either playing Heroes or he's playing Sams. Either or, I should be okay against. But, because, I don't know, my leadoff hand wasn't the best ever, but I can still work with it because I do have the 2 Thunder Kings. But he grabs TG Striker, which I found really weird. And then he just goes for, the Earth. And I was like, wait a second, reinforcements for that? It just seemed weird, but then I saw that and I was like, okay, it's TG Agents, but at first I thought it was just straight TG, but still, I don't recall seeing reinforcements ever, but go for Duality just because I can only normal summon cards in my hand right now anyways, so I might as well just use it. Get a Warning, which is kind of, I could have gotten the Reborn also, but I was thinking Warning might be more useful, but just summon out Thunder King, but he has a Torrential, so that kind of sucks. But he goes for Heavy Storm, I'm like, shit, now he can get free hits on my field. But he just goes for Goblin Zombie. I'm like, wait, what? What is this? What is this deck structure? I don't get it. But I had to mill out because of Goblin Zombie. Not too huge of an issue because it's just Chaos Sorcerer. So I kind of waited for a second to see if he had a Veiler response, and he didn't. So just bring out Tour Guide, and then I grab Leviathan and just attach 1 to get to 2,500. And then I'm like, wait a second, I can summon out BLS. Let's summon out BLS, and then I can just kind of wreck his orifices with some BLS action, you know, and then he gets to search for another Goblin Zombie, I think, is what, yeah, so he gets another Goblin Zombie, and then I just get my BLS attack, and then my Leviathan attack, and he's about, yeah, he only has 600 points left now, so next turn I should be able to win, as long as he doesn't have any threatening spell of traps, but as long as he doesn't set any spell of traps, I can win no matter what, because I can just Dark Hole any potential thing he brings out, and he can't go for anything with his Venus, so that kind of locked him there, but he summons out TG Striker and then that Goblin Zombie and then makes Brio, and I'm like, okay, he'll just bounce these back, not that huge of an issue, but I was just looking through his grave and I'm like, whatever, but he goes for the Goblin Zombie search for a Plague Spread. I'm like, okay, so he'll just discard that, probably bring that out and then do something else, I don't know, but he just decides to banish it and brings out the BLS, and I'm like, oh, fuck, but he doesn't choose to bounce back my BLS, which is kind of weird, but I mean, I guess it works. I guess he thought maybe I'd be able to get enough lights to go for it again, but he just kills me off and then goes for that. But, like I said, since I have the Dark Hole, I can just go for that and then summon out the Thunder King and just wreck his face. So that's the end of that one. Yay, I did that. I don't know. But, yeah, game stuff. And then we're on our third one, which this one is actually a match. So, yeah, I don't know. But I think, he goes first. I'm like, okay, he's got a decent rating, so I should expect something good. But then I see Tremendous Fire, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? But then it's like he's just playing some burn shit. I'm like, okay, so then he just plays a bunch of fucking shit, and then he's all like Wave Motion Cannon, and then Random Face Down, so, and then Duality, and then he pulls up, like, he got that Desquala, and then the swords. I thought he would go for either swords or Desquala, and he does go for the swords, I believe, so that works for him. And then he just puts that shit back. But then the weird thing is, he didn't even bother to play the swords. Like, after Duality goes away, he just doesn't bother to play them. I pull in his Spirit Reaper, so I'm like, okay, let's just get rid of those fucking swords. So I Duality up, and I'm like, what do I want? And I was like, alright, let's just grab the Judgment, because that should be my best thing to take on Burn, you know, because he won't be summoning much, so I don't got to worry about that. And then the other thing, I forgot what it was, but I just wanted the Judgment. But then I'm like, alright, discard your swords, and you should have played it last turn, but oh well. But now he just top decks another swords. I'm like, fuck it, no, go away, I don't want that. I mean, sure, it destroys my life points, completely decimates them, but I felt like I was in a good enough position that I shouldn't really give a shit. But since I have the Effect Veiler in my hand, I'm like, okay, well, we'll just make Armory Arm, and then we'll grab BLS. So that sounds like a good idea to me. But I think here he goes for Wabaku. Yep, he goes for Wabaku, so you know, that's the thing. I was thinking about setting down that Dark Hole as bait, but then I was like, no, he could pull up something that'll make me take damage because of stupid shit. But it just sets down the card he pulls up, and it turns out to be a Secret Barrel, which only makes me take 1,200, so not that bothered by it. And actually, I can win this turn. I just randomly set that down, but I can summon out the Tour Guide and then grab, you know, another Tour Guide, and then I can make Acid Golem, and then that kind of will make me go over the top for the kill. So actually, it's only 600 points over the top, but the point is, now I kind of win the game because, you know, he takes a ton of fucking damage. So that's that first game, but then he's all like, I'm gonna offer a rematch, let's have a match duel, whatever. I should actually just host for match duels, but since I know that he is running burn and shit, I know I won't need Doom Cals, and then I figure I'll want my heavy storms, so I decided that in 2. Probably could have decided out like my warnings or something, but I don't know, whatever. But we'll go into this game right here. He obviously goes first. Not the best hand I could have, because those Torrentials are not going to help me much. Then again, most of my side won't help me in general, but he goes for Tremendous Fire and inflicts damage, and then just sets a bunch of shit, and then plays swords. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go for Duality just because I don't really need Tour Guide this turn, but I don't pull into anything I really like. But I decided we'll just grab the Veiler, and then I think I just decided to grab the Veiler, but he just plays down 2 Secret Barrels. I'm like, okay, I don't really care, whatever. But I was thinking, do I want the BLS or do I want the Veiler? And I'm like, let's grab Veiler, and then I can make the Armory Arm, and I can just use Chaos Sorcerer just fine, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I decided to just set down the Veiler just to get it out, and then next turn, I could go for the whatchamacallit, the Tour Guide, and then I can already have Veiler out. So he pulls into Ukazi, but he puts back Dimensional Wall and Magic Cylinders. I guess just because of the fact that I can't go for anything for the next couple turns from swords, so he might as well just get immediate damage right away. But plays down Cease. I think he plays down Ceasefire this turn, but I'm like, okay, we'll just bring out Tour Guide, and then yeah, he plays down Ceasefire, so I have to flip up Veiler, which I was going to do anyways, but I had to take 1,000 just because I had 2 effect monsters. But then I decided to pull into, oh no, I grabbed Tour Guide. Why did I grab Tour Guide? I thought I was going to, what am I doing? I thought I was grabbing Songen, because I thought I was going to just make, oh, I can just use that other Tour Guide to do it. But then I'm just like, we'll do that. And then he brings out the Lava Golem. I'm like, no, go the fuck away. I was actually glad I had those Torrentials now, because then I could just do that shit. By pulling a Heavy Storm, I'm like, okay, just do that. And he had a Magic Cylinder face down, so that worked out for me. And then I can just Tour Guide up for Songen, and then just grab the Chaos Sorcerer and do a ton of damage to him. And so I do that, and I set down the fucking thingy because I had nothing better to do. So just deal a ton of fucking damage. Next turn I'll be able to win if he doesn't pull anything. But he pulls into a 1-day apiece, so next turn I won't be able to do anything. But I set down the MST, because just in case he pulled into a continuous thingy, but goes for the Duality. And I see that Dark Hole, and I'm like, okay, he'll just want a Dark Hole then. But he actually decides to grab the Dimensional Wall, which kind of made no sense, because, I mean, I already know what he could do, so I could just attack with my low dudes and then be okay. But he goes for the Poison of the Old Man, and then it's all like, oh no, I lose 800. But then he has a Dimensional Wall, and I'm like, okay, well, I got the MST, so kind of win now because he can't do anything to stop me, and you know, that's how that ended up. So that's that match. And now we got one final duel. I think it's just one, so yeah, it's just one, I believe. But you know, standard stuff. But I pull into Tour Guide first turn, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go for that. And then I'll just go for Songen, because I see that I have the Forbidden Lance and I have the Phoenix Chain, so I feel like I could wait a turn and then see what happens. So we'll just do that. And he's going to first turn, I believe he's going to, well, first of all, he sets down a couple cards, but then he plays down Lone Fire, and I'm like, I could go for Veiler, but I also want to try and get Armory Arm if I can, because I've been doing that a lot lately, just trying to go for the Armory Arm, but go for the Phoenix Chain on the Lone Fire so that he can't go for anything. But then he searches his deck, and I'm like, I already stopped you from going for the Lone Fire, so why are you searching your fucking deck? But I pull into a Monster Reborn, not that useful, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to special summon this turn. I think I'll just play down the Gale, so I'll just grab a Chaos Sorcerer for later turns and then, you know, do some stuff. But I decided to just summon out the Gale and just attack. I don't even bother to use this effect because it's not like I really need to, so And then I just deal 2,000 with my other dudes, and I'm like, okay, go. And then, let's see, I think he summons a Krebons. Yeah, he summons Krebons out, and then I'm like, and he's like, okay, I'll just attack. But I'm like, no, Forbidden Lands, fuck you, get out of my sight. And he does get out of my sight, so that kind of works. But then what I can do is I decided to set down the, whatchamacallit for some reason, the fucking Spirit Reaper, because I was like, let's just wait a turn before I do stuff. But then he plays down the Dark Hole, and it's like, shouldn't have waited, but oh well. But I do get my Song in Search at the very least. I'm like, let's just grab Tour Guide. And then if I need it, I need it. If I don't, I don't, you know? But he randomly searches his deck again. It's like, why are you searching? What is he doing? But I don't have any lights on my grave, so I can't go for the Chaos Sorcerer. But I'm like, effect. I'm waiting to see if he has a response. But then he pulls Valor out right when I decide to go for the searching of the deck. So it's like, whatever. But now I'm just like, okay, we'll attack. And since all of his monsters so far have been low leveled, I just decide, fuck it, we'll just attack. But he brings out the Junk Synchro, and I'm like, let's just discard Valor, mainly just for the sake of, well, first of all, he doesn't get a monster, so it's not too huge to me. But then the thing is, also, he won't get, what am I trying to say? Well, first of all, he won't get his monster, but what I was trying to actually say was I can get out Chaos Sorcerer, so that's kind of what I wanted. I probably should have just tried to banish that thing, but I was like, fuck it. I'll just attack. He gets down to 300, so next turn I can kind of finish him off. But he pulls into another Junk Synchron, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. Brings out the Level Eater and then the Doppel Warrior, and he thinks he can bring out the tokens first, but you get the tokens after you stuff. I was like, wait a second, is he going to realize that he doesn't get the tokens first, or is he just already planning for his Synchro? But then I'm like, but then he brings out Stardust. I'm like, hey, dude, you can only, you get the tokens after you do your special. So then he just decides to bring out, Brio, I believe. I'm like, okay, I'll just bounce that back. And since the Doppel tokens have to be an attack, that's basically game, because his back row card can't do anything. So he was just like, yeah, that's your game. So that's it for today's DN Quickies. If you enjoyed, you know, hope you guys enjoyed. I don't fucking know, but I'll try and do more of these. It's just the last couple days have been really weird for me to get DN matches, or good DN matches to record. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Such blah. Rick, I'm a sub, and later, guys.